For the movie, I wrote that Rose gets onto a piece of wooden debris that's too small and unstable to support them both.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most notorious plot holes that actually have explanations. While we'll avoid major spoilers when possible, we'll still be discussing these films' plot machinations, so tread lightly.
I remember thinking it would take a man 600 years to tunnel through the wall with it. Old Andy did it in less than 20.
Number 10. Sarah knows what button to press. The Terminator. After being chased through a factory by a murderous robot from the future, Sarah Connor narrowly escapes its grasp, trapping it in a hydraulic press. In a triumphant moment, she grabs control of the machine, activates it, and destroys the titular android once and for all.
You're terminated.
But how did Sarah, a waitress with seemingly no technical background and no prior experience in this factory, know how to activate what appeared to be a literal deus ex machina? Easy, she had already done it just a few minutes before. Attempting to hide from the Terminator, she accidentally pressed the button, blowing their cover. In fact, the same button that had doomed her earlier ended up being her salvation in the end. Number 9. Why don't they teach astronauts to drill? Armageddon. When the time came to save the world, NASA needed to drill a giant hole in an asteroid, drop a nuke, and split the asteroid in half.
How? We drill. We bring in the world's best deep core driller.
They did this by training drillers to be astronauts, but why not do the opposite? This question became so well known that even star Ben Affleck discussed asking Michael Bay about it in the DVD commentary.
I asked Michael why it was easier to train oil drillers to become astronauts than it was to train astronauts to become oil drillers, and he told me to.
While Affleck reports that Bay gave him a rather abrupt answer, there is a more concrete rationale in the film. A character mentions they already have trained astronauts to use the drill with little success.
We've had them training for 8 months solid now.
8 whole months?
Well, pretty much, yeah.
Oh, gee whiz.
In a time crunch, NASA called in drilling experts to manage the drilling, while the astronauts handled all the complicated space stuff. Number 8. Just live at the Waterfall. A quiet place. When sound-sensitive killer aliens invade Earth, finding a way to avoid being heard is a matter of life and death. One way the family in A Quiet Place does this is by talking near the cacophony of an immense waterfall, which drowns out their conversations.
You're all right. You're all right. I promise.
So this naturally raises the question, why not just live there? On its face, this makes sense until you realize they would be giving up the food and shelter of the farmhouse they lived on and swapping their solar-powered home for some wet rocks.
It's okay. It's okay. You're safe. They can't hear us.
While they might be safe from the aliens if they never moved from the falls, actually surviving there wasn't a realistic option. Number 7. Buzz freezes. Toy Story. Here we have to differentiate between a plot hole and something noteworthy that isn't explicitly explained in the film. What is explained in Toy Story is that toys come to life when we aren't around, and that Buzz doesn't think he's a toy.
Local law enforcement. It's about time you got here. I'm Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger, Universe Protection Unit.
So if he thinks he's a real space ranger, why does he freeze whenever Andy enters the room and/or plays with him? It could be something all toys do subconsciously, regardless if they believe they're toys or not, similar to the fight or flight theory. Though Woody is able to break the freezing rule during the toy's encounter with Sid.
We're going to have to break a few rules, but if it works, it'll help everybody.
It might simply be that Buzz is following the lead of the other toys, or that it's part of what he thinks is his astronaut programming. Either way, as Toy Story 4 points out, when it comes to living toys, we don't really understand the rules.
How am I, alive?
I don't know.
Number 6. Cipher enters the Matrix alone. The Matrix. Early in The Matrix, it's established that humans can only enter and exit the simulated reality with the help of an operator. So, naturally, when the traitorous Cipher meets with Agent Smith, fans of The Matrix cried foul.
After 9 years, you know what I realize? Ignorance is bliss.
He couldn't possibly be sitting down for a digital steak unless he was let in by the very crew he planned to betray. When asked about this, the Wachowskis clarified by pointing to a scene where Cipher, surprised by Neo, quickly turned off some code he was working on.
Whoa! Neo, you scared the bejesus out of me.
They confirmed that this code was something Cipher had created to discreetly gain entry into the Matrix. Number 5. Bruce gets back to Gotham. The Dark Knight Rises. After a brutal fight with Bane leaves Batman with a broken back, he's imprisoned in a large hole halfway around the world.
Ah, yes! I was wondering what would break first.
In a dramatic sequence, he escapes the pit. The next time we see him, he's back in Gotham, somehow. The simple answer as to how Bruce Wayne got all the way back to Gotham is, well, he's Batman. Based on what Fox says about the nuclear bomb going off in 23 days, it's reasonable to assume he had about a month to travel back.
This bomb's a time bomb.
And it will go off in 23 days.
Meanwhile, despite losing much of his fortune, he still had substantial financial resources at his disposal thanks to the international operations of Wayne Enterprises. Plus, we've already seen Bruce make his way across the world in Batman Begins.
How do you know my name?
The world is too small for someone like Bruce Wayne to disappear.
Number 4. Marty McFly's parents don't recognize him. Back to the Future. In the 1985 film Back to the Future, teen Marty McFly spends a significant amount of time with past versions of his parents before returning to his own time. When he gets home, despite many changes, they don't recognize that they had met their son in the past.
Oh, Marty, I almost forgot Jennifer Parker called.
Oh, I sure like her, Marty. She is such a sweet girl.
Although this experience felt instantaneous to Marty, at this point it has been 30 years for his parents. Moreover, they have no photos of their time with the younger version of Marty.
Let me see that photograph again of your brother.
Over the years, as they watched their son grow up, it'd be nearly impossible for them to notice the resemblance to the person they briefly knew, since the change occurs so gradually. Also, it's not like time travel was commonplace, or even a feasible option for them to think of happening.
You see, Einstein has just become the world's first time traveler.
Number 3. The Poster, The Shawshank Redemption. Over the course of The Shawshank Redemption, we see the imprisoned Andy Dufresne adorn the wall of his prison cell with rotating posters of a Hollywood starlet. These posters not only help the audience track the passage of time, they also play a crucial role in the film's twist ending. At the climax, the warden notices that behind the pinup of Raquel Welch is a tunnel dug by Andy in his long-planned escape to freedom.
In 1966, Andy Dufresne escaped from Shawshank Prison.
This raises the question, how could Andy have hung the poster back up after escaping? According to Robbins, the answer is simple. Andy only hung it from the top, allowing it to fall back into place as he departed.
Pinned up here, pull up here, go underneath, go in.
Number 2. The Eagles, the Lord of the Rings franchise. More than once, when the Fellowship or any of its members are in trouble, giant eagles swoop in and save the characters. So why did they have to bother to walk to Mordor to destroy the ring when they could have just gotten a ride?
Take it, Gandalf. Take it!
No, Frodo.
You must take it!
Or better yet, why not just have the eagles drop it in the volcano? The eagles are powerful beings associated with the gods, and they don't exist just to do other beings' bidding.
Eagles! The eagles are coming!
Asking them to carry the ring, provided they actually agreed to it, would spoil the one advantage the Fellowship had: stealth. As Gandalf and Galadriel demonstrate, it's also better for a seemingly insignificant hobbit to carry the ring rather than a powerful being like them or the eagles that could be corrupted.
If you ask it of me, I will give you the One Ring.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The Wood Titanic. The tragic tale of star-crossed lovers aboard the Ship of Dreams comes to a tragic end when Jack freezes in the icy Atlantic.
I love you, Jack.
Rose narrowly survives the same fate by clinging to a large wooden piece of debris. But that piece of wood was actually pretty big. Surely there was enough room for both Jack and Rose.
There's one thing some fans just can't accept. They insist Jack could have survived if he climbed on that floating piece of debris with Rose.
However, there actually is a good reason why Jack stays in the water. The wood was in no way buoyant enough to support them both. As well, the characters likely weren't equipped with the proper know-how to be able to keep themselves afloat, and in the panic of the moment, they probably weren't in the proper state of mind to even be successful at it.
For the movie, I wrote that Rose gets onto a piece of wooden debris that's too small and unstable to support them both.
To drive the point home, Jack even tries to get on the wood, which nearly drags them both down. Which plot holes did you solve? Let us know in the comments below. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.